So, we all know that giant monsters like to come out of the ocean and totally destroy Tokyo, and then possibly get fought back by giant robots, depending on what you're watching. Pacific Rim, the awesome movie from earlier this year, showed us that if we were ever in that much danger, we'd just build giant robots to combat the kaiju, put us in the role of the giant robots. What if there was a way that you could be in the role of one of the monsters instead? Well, there is, thanks to King of Tokyo. Richard Garfield's King of Tokyo puts you in the role of a giant kaiju, trying to destroy Tokyo and beat down your adversaries while you do so. So, let's talk about it. King of Tokyo is a game for 2 to 6 players. That, as I've already said, puts you in the role of a kaiju trying to destroy Tokyo. There are 6 playable options in the basic set, all of which parody a certain kind of Hollywood monster, from King Kong to Godzilla to even Cthulhu. It's all very exciting stuff. Aim of the game is simple. Get your character onto this spot here and earn points for it. Or this one if you've got 5 or 6 players. This means that you are in Tokyo. Being in Tokyo gets you extra points, and one of the ways to win the game is to be the first to 20 points. The other way to win the game is to just kill all the other monsters, which you can by either attacking them while they're in Tokyo, or being in Tokyo and attacking everyone who's not in Tokyo. Gameplay requires players to roll 6 of these dice each turn. Similar to Yahtzee in that you get to roll all 6, choose whichever results you want, and then re-roll the results you didn't want 3 times. After the 3rd roll, you're stuck with what you've saved. Each die has 6 different faces. A 1, a 2, and a 3, which gets you points based on how many of those you roll. A love heart, which regenerates your health. A lightning bolt, which gets you energy. And a claw mark, which represents you attacking somebody. The game also has a deck of power-up cards which you buy with the energy that you've rolled. These can range from simple deal 2 damage to people to incredibly good cards like gain an extra dice every turn. It's an incredibly simple game to pick up, but how does it actually stack up? Well, the first thing is, the game has a lot of character. All of the artwork is pretty funny, and it plays with a lot of the tropes of Hollywood kaiju monsters. The simplicity of the gameplay is a very big plus for this game. It helps it to be easily picked up by anyone who wants to play it. And the artwork is accessible, the language used in the cards is very easy to understand, and there are lots of puns in it as well. Herbivore, because it eats urban things. Ha! There's also the fact that each of your characters has a little character on a stand thing to actually get into Tokyo. This is Gigazor. He's basically Godzilla, but not for copyright reasons. The element of choice that comes from choosing which die rolls to keep and which to re-roll means that despite the simplicity of the game, there is a bit of a level of strategy in there, which makes the game accessible for all levels of players, so it's not likely to be forgotten about anytime soon. And I would say a bit more, but there's not that much more to say in the base set. The game's level of simplicity means that there's not that much to talk about. So, let's see if there's any negatives. If I had to find negatives with King of Tokyo, I could. For one thing, some of the pieces are incredibly fiddly to play with. The amount of energy you've got is represented by these little green cubes, which, although pretty, are very small and easy to lose. Then you've got this bag of tokens, which are pretty hard to sort through when you actually need to find things, which comes rarely because they're only in the form of those power-ups. But the last problem I had with King of Tokyo was that though there are different characters, they don't really play very differently. They are all actually just vanilla cardboard cutouts with different faces and names. Until the expansion, which gives each character a different evolution deck, which gives them a different playstyle. But I'm not talking about that expansion, I'm talking about the base set. In the base set, the monsters feel very vanilla. But those are only a few problems of an otherwise good game. So, overall, it's very easy to see how King of Tokyo earned its Best Children Game Award, Best Family Game Award, and Best Party Game Award. It's charming and fun. I mean, who doesn't want to be a giant kaiju and destroy Tokyo? I don't know. I know I certainly want to be a giant kaiju, And it only got better from there, because as I've said, the expansion brought individuality to each of the monsters, while keeping the game fresh and exciting. The only real problem that I had with King of Tokyo was that it was pretty hard for me to find a copy of. And then I did find a copy of it, so everything was fine. If you can find a copy of King of Tokyo, I really recommend buying it and playing it. It's a lot of fun. For now, I'm signing off. If you want to see me review other games, then there's a button there. If you want to see me talk about other things, there's a button there. And if you want to see me talk about Marvel, well, there's a button here. If you want to see me talk about more games, I recommend subscribing to this channel so that you can be notified when I do. And leave me a comment if you think there's a game that I should review. Because I probably will. As long as it's good fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Ta-ra!